1,000 names of Lord Balaram from the Garga Samhita. We are not going to do the whole 1,000, just I chose 3 verses which are particularly significant. So I'll first read the translation, and then we'll, if you like, we can read the Sanskrit together. Meditation on the 1,000 names. I glorify Lord Balaram, decorated with a glittering crown, bracelets, twinkling ornaments, moving locks of hair on his cheeks, splendid earrings on his handsome lotus face, and garments dark like monsoon clouds, holding a great club and plow, fulfilling all desires, and handsome like a mountain of ice and snow. So I read one line. If you like, you can repeat. Adhadhyanam. Spuradamala-kiritam kinkinikankanartham. Chaladala-kakapolam kundala-shri-mukhabjam. Tuhinagiri-manogyam nilamegam baradhyam. Alamushala-vishalam kamapalam samidhe. Lord Balaram is supremely powerful and happy. Balabhadra, the supreme enjoyer, Ramabhadra, and the Rama, all attractive, Sankarsha, infallible, Achyuta, the lover of Revati, Ramana, the splendid Supreme Personality of Godhead, Deva, the Lord who fulfills desires, Kama Pala, and he who carries a plow weapon, Halayuda. Om Balabhadro Ramabhadro. Om Balabhadro Ramabhadro. Rama Sankarshanochutaha. Rama Sankarshanochutaha. Rivati Ramano Devaha. Rivati Ramano Devaha. Rama Palo Halayudaha. Rama Palo Halayudaha. So the next verse, the third and last from the Garga Samhita, is even more theological in nature. He is the perfect, supreme personality of Godhead, Paripurnatama. The supreme personality of Godhead directly, Sakshat Parama. The supreme person, Purushottama. Limitless Ananta, eternal Shashvata. He is Lord Shesha, the supremely opulent Lord, Bhagavan, and beyond the world of matter, Prakriti Para. Paripurnatamaha Sakshat, Paramaha Purushottamaha, Ananta Shashvataha Shesho, Bhagavan Prakriti Paraha. Jai Shri Balarama Ki Jai. So today we are celebrating his birthday, but we should remember his birthday is not a normal birth. He's Prakriti Paraha. He never comes under the spell or control or influence of the material energy, because he is the original and eternal Lord of this world. In fact, he is technically Swayam Prakash, is the immediate personal expansion, emanation from Krishna. Krishna conscious theology is purely monotheistic. There is only one God. At the same time, is a very special form of monotheism. Is polymorphic monotheism. Is one God with many forms. He remains one, but he assumes eternally many forms to fulfill and assist and augment his happiness and pastimes. So Lord Balaram is the first expansion of Lord Krishna. And actually all other forms of God come from him, like the Chaturvyuha, the Purushavatar, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakasha Vishnu, Kshirodakasha Vishnu, Paramatma. Lord Balaram as Paramatma is in everyone's heart. So when we say God, in one sense, in one limited sense, Balaram is that God. Because all forms of God, especially those who manifest this universe, come from him directly. And is depicted in many ways throughout the centuries, especially in India, but not only in India. This is a classical photo. I won't spend much time on every slide because I have many slides. Sometimes it's represented in 4 arms. This is a coin depicting Vasudeva Krishna on your right and Balaram Sankarshan on your left of the Bactrian king Agathocles, circa 180 before current era, means more than 22 centuries ago. It was found in Ai-Khanum in today's Afghanistan. Bactria was an Hellenistic, means Greek, empire north of India. So this is a coin from that king who celebrated Krishna. You can see with the Sudarshan, with the will on his hand, and Balaram with his typical mushala. Mushala, how do you translate mushala? The plow and the club. Is another coin from another king, King Mawis, a Saka king, with Sankarshan Balaram. This is a little more recent, but still is more than 21 centuries ago. 2 different coins. So he has been represented in many ways for many centuries. These are ancient statues of him, again 4 arms, here with Shisha, Ananta in the back, here with the mustaches somehow. This is, I think is more North Indian style. And then on the right, Jagannath Subhadra Baladev in the form of an Om. You can see the Om, with Shesha creating the Om. And this is Oriya style, of course, is worshipped a lot in Oriya. These are other ways different artists have imagined or visualized in. Here we have Tamil script, for those who are familiar with that. Again, Oriya style, sometimes is bluish, generally is white. We saw is like a mountain of ice and snow. That's pretty white. This is Kilim Pralambasura, Orissa style, more Oriya style. And in the Ratha Yatra, he goes actually first. There are 3 chariots. He goes first because he is the elder brother of Krishna, so he protects Krishna, Jagannath, and Subhadra Devi. So this is a special Dvesha, the Gajendra Moksha Dvesha. When Vishnu appears. You can see Gajendra and the crocodile on the lower right corner. So Lord Jagannath and of course Balaram have many veshas or customs or dresses to emphasize or celebrate the different pastimes. And of course we also have dolls with Balaram. How many of you have a Balaram doll at home? Only 1, 2, 3. Okay, lucky winners. Yes. And even a little bit cartoonish, but there's Balaram. So any form helps remembering and visualizing and meditating on it.
Shri Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram Bhagavan Bhavanandi Vanamali Halayudaha Adityo Jyotiraditya Sahishnurghati Sattamaha. Vishnu Sahasranam depicts Sri Balaram and his contrasts. He is actually the Supreme Lord. He is like the Supreme Lord. And at the same time, he also wears the forest flowers and walks on the path of Vrindavan. He is also known as the one who gives happiness to the entire world. And Adityo Jyotiraditya, Aditya is sun god. So he is the source of sunlight. And he also is as brilliant as several suns. So that supreme personality, Balaram, let's pay our humble obeisances on his appearance day.
Thank you. So we'll have a glimpse of his pastimes, somewhat chronologically, when he appeared, and he stayed about 125 years on this planet, about 5,000 years ago. So he appeared as the son of Devaki first. So he was in the womb. You see here in the womb with the Ananta Shesha. Of course, these are artistic representations. We're not always 100% sure how he actually looks in the womb. But Balaram in the womb, and he was in the womb of Devaki for 7 months. Jiva Goswami explains that in the Gopala Champu. And then what happened? Then Krishna instructed Yogamaya to transfer Lord Balaram from Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb. Rohini is another wife of Vasudeva. He had married 8 sisters, so one is Devaki, more famous, and then Rohini. And so mystically he was transferred. See, Devaki and Vasudeva were in the prison house, as you could see here, in chains, and somehow people like Kamsa understood this as a miscarriage. The Devaki had lost the baby. Now, I'm not going to go into many details, but the Acharyas have explained that Balaram is the original guru. Krishna will not appear unless Balaram somehow blesses our vision. So he prepared the womb, he purified as the original guru. That was the 7th pregnancy of Devaki, as practically all of you know. Before, there was the children known as the Sadgarbha Asuras, because they represented anarthas, they represented something very bad, consciousness-wise. So after the Sadgarbha Asuras appeared in the womb, Balaram came in the womb and purified. So Krishna, as the 8th child of Devaki, then he could appear. And Balaram got eternally known as Rohini Nandana. Okay? Then of course, because Vasudeva was in jail, Rohini went and took shelter in Nanda Maharaj kingdom in Braj. So here, after Krishna's appeared, the ceremony of name giving and also the horoscope of the children was done by Garga Muni, also known as Garga Acharya, and somehow directly and indirectly, because you all know Vraja is covered by Yogamaya. So Krishna and Balaram want to do their pastimes almost as normal human beings. Of course, their pastimes they are extraordinary, but they don't want the feeling of awe and reverence given to God to infringe on the intimacy. So Garga Muni told everything about Krishna and Balaram, but in a somewhat indirect way. They say these children are none different than Narayana, because they are the source of Narayana, but he said they are none different from Narayana. This child Krishna appears in different ages. This is another pastime when Krishna killed Shakatasura. It was a ghostly being who entered a cart, very heavy cart with many utensils, and he wanted to crash Krishna, but he got crashed by Krishna. And Balaram, you can see, is there. They show that Nanda Maharaj, everybody runs to see what happened, and Krishna was completely unarmed. This is another famous pastime. Balaram went to tell Yashoda Devi that Krishna had eaten some dirt. And Yashoda Devi was very concerned, so she went and saw Krishna's mouth. And in Krishna's mouth, she saw the whole universe, the whole galaxies, the planets. She even saw the planet Earth. And in planet Earth, she saw herself looking into the mouth of Krishna. So she was a bit bewildered, but her rasa, Vatsalya Bhav, her rasa as a mother was not in the least affected. So she still thought, well, this Krishna is a very, very special child, but still is my child. Some pictures, different styles. Krishna and Balaram as children, they were quite lively. Sometimes they would just catch the tail of a calf and being dragged in the mud. They will do a lot of pastimes. Sometimes you see Balaram here is a little elder, a little bigger, so he's feeding Krishna some gulab jamun or laddu. And of course, then there is this pastimes of with the butter. There is the whole saga of them stealing butter in their house, and stealing butter even in somebody else's houses. And it was bewildering because Yashoda, she's the king's wife, she's the queen of Graja, and they are the best cows, the best butter. So it was not clear why they had to go in somebody else's house and steal butter. But that's what they like to do. So here the artist has illustrated this pastime. So here they are even feeding the monkeys with the butter, and Balaram is looking at Mother Yashoda or some other gopi, a bit intimidated. See, when they play, Krishna and Balaram, they play with full absorption. They almost forget to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because they want to relish the love of their devotees in a very intimate, very spontaneous, very natural way. This is a little statue, resin statue made in China, Krishna and Balaram stealing butter. I was told by the devotees in Hong Kong that sometimes these Chinese workers, they make this statue, they ask, who are this? Because they make all sorts of statues for all sorts of purposes. And so the devotees sometimes explain, this is Krishna, this is Balaram, and so on. More stealing of butter, more monkey business, quite literally, because you see the monkeys are there. And of course, then there is some consequences. They have to run away, they have to hide. Yashoda is very sweet, but she has some stick in the hand here, you see? So she has to also see to their education. They cannot just grow wild as if they were. They were actually wild. Again, more monkeys, more butter, different style of art. And now a moment of affection. Then, see, now they're grown up a little bit, and finally they start doing the caring for the cows, starting with calves. Children in Vrindavan 5,000 years ago, they were not giving immediately the cows, they first given the calves, because apparently they're easier to manage. So different artists have imagined, visualized, meditated on this relation that they had with the cow. Cows very, very, very dear. Govinda, Gopal.
Now let's enter into Nanda Maharaj's courtyard and meditate on Krishna and Balaram playing. And one of our Vaishnava saints, Sri Purandaradasa, transports us to witness this Leela. I'm just going to sing a couple of lines. Balakrishna ne baro, bega baro. Balakrishna ne baro, bega baro. Kala gadagava niduve, kolu poguri chandu, ninage hittiruve. Annaya Balarama, Veduvanaya. Balakrishna ne baro, bega baro. Balakrishna ne baro. Krishna and Balaram, they're seated there, and Mother Yashoda and Rohini have decorated them with beautiful ornaments, especially with khada on their lotus feet. And those lotus feet, khada is tinkling. And next to them are toys such as the stick, the ball, the top that you tie it with a rope and you throw it down and it rotates. And so many such toys they're keeping and playing. And Krishna, as soon as Balaram disappears from his vision, immediately starts calling Annaya Balarama. Annaya is like, oh big brother, where are you? So Krishna was so attached to Lord Balaram, and in this way, the joy of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda were boundless. Haribol.
Any Kannadigas here? Anyone from Karnataka? Acha. So you follow the song, right? Jai. This is a Bengali. They look very feminine, but it's Krishna Balaram. It's a Bengali style of painting. This is a different style again, the Braj, like fragmented style of prints. This is another style, more Western. See, this is the mood. See, he's the elder brother, so there is a mixture of course, Sakya Rasa, friendship, but there's also Vatsalya, very protective, very caring for his younger brother. This is Nitya Tarangini, an artist from Israel. There is devotion also in Israel, yes. And I don't know who's this. And of course, when they go out, one of the highlights of their day is the picnics. Mother Yashoda and the other gopis and a lot of delicacies, lot of sweets, and they feed each other. Here Krishna is feeding Balaram. They exchange. Here Krishna is going on Balaram, followed by the other cow boys. Here they are going on a swing, all very, and Balaram is pulling the rope. All very blissful, all very peaceful. Of course, peaceful until some demons comes, sent by Kamsa, but otherwise generally very peaceful. And here again, more eating. This is more eating, but in a Chinese style. this was one of the paintings for the light of the Bhagavat. Some of you know Srila Prabhupada had an invitation to Japan to present at a special conference, but then he couldn't get the visa. This is before he went to the West. Somehow he couldn't get the visa. He had envisioned extracting some verses from the chapter of the autumn in the 10th canto, because he thought that the Japanese people like very much nature, and there are many analogies based on nature, but somehow he couldn't go. So many years later, the devotees in China, they produced this in Chinese, and they engaged a very famous artist to depict a number of paintings. And here is again Krishna and Balaram eating what looks like rasgullas. And then music. Somebody blows a horn, Krishna plays the flute, Balaram is dancing. And then of course one other highlight of their day is the Govardhan. Govardhan pastimes, practically every day they were on Govardhan. And of course here is a special pastime where Krishna appears as Govardhan himself, and everybody offers food and he's never satisfied. He say, Anior, Anior. Many of you have been to Govardhan. How many of you did the Govardhan Parikrama? So you know that's the place was called Anior. That's where all the foods were kept. And Krishna appeared. See, Krishna on your lower left here, Krishna and Balram are there, but he also appeared in a huge form and he ate everything. Until it is said that somebody gave him a tulsi leaf, and then he was happy. And then of course the lifting. There are many expressions here. This is a bit unusual because Krishna is not holding the Govardhan Leela. His Balaram and Nanda Maharaj is holding. Sometimes we need to be a little bit careful with these paintings because they are not always historically accurate. But here you have Krishna and the others. Here you have also a bit of an inaccuracy. Indra is here. You see Indra here praying, but this was after. Here is Balaram. And of course there are very few gopis and gopas here, only about 15. So there were many more, of course. So when you see a picture of pastimes of Krishna, always be a little cautious. Check the book, check the text, because otherwise we get, so here Krishna is almost as big as Govardhan. So it's a bit not to scale. So here is more, it's more famous, is our ISKCON painting, BBT painting, and it's more, we could say, realistic, with Krishna holding, Balaram there looking, and everybody. It's very special pastimes because it was the only pastimes where all the devotees, all the rasas could be together. Generally, when he's in the fields, Krishna is with his cowboys. At night, sometimes with the gopis. At home with Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. But here, everyone, including the cows, were under Govardhan. Jai Giriraj Govardhan ki jai. And more milking. Now they are taking care of the cows. Now they grew up more. So they take care of the full-fledged cows. They go in the morning. They go and again, more pastimes. Here Balaram massages Krishna's feet, Krishna's legs. Then they play. The Bhagavatam explained that sometimes they imitate the birds. Here they imitate peacocks. Some imitate ducks. Some in the back they run with deer. Very spontaneous. Very idyllic. Then they talk, who knows what they say, but they talk with each other. Sometimes Krishna glorifies Balaram, Sometimes Balaram glorifies Krishna. And sometimes here Krishna massages Balaram's feet. While this Gopa seems to sing the glories, he is acting as a pillow, but he seems also to sing, while another Gopa is fanning Balaram with a leaf. Then they come back at night. And of course, the gopis have been in a terrible separation all day. So you see, this is a sunset. They come back, and finally the gopis, it's like it's their prana, their life air comes back. Finally, they can see Krishna again. They've been meditating all day, and they've been meditating that the paths sometimes are rough, and Krishna's feet are so soft. So how those feet can tolerate this rough path in the forest? Lot of emotion, lot of sentiments. This is another pastime. At one point, they were surrounded by a forest fire, and Krishna told everybody to close their eyes. Here, Balaram doesn't close their eyes. Of course, he knows who Krishna is. But Krishna absorbs, swallows the whole fire, and says everybody, this is another expression. Again, Balaram doesn't close their eyes. They see they are surrounded. And Krishna just swallows the forest fire. Jagannath Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra Bhuvanitai Ki Jai. Famous, almost like a picture perfect type of illustration. Krishna and Balaram. Balaram with his arm on Krishna's shoulder, to the cows, the peacock, the lotus, the forest. And here it's a special pastimes of the killing of Dhenukasura. In the Talaram forest, the devotees, the Sakas, the Gopas came to Krishna Balaram and say, look, we can smell these tal fruits, they're so sweet. They're extraordinarily juicy, but we cannot eat them because this Dhenukasura and his friends, asses, donkeys, they are dominating that forest. So at one point, they decided, okay, let's go and kill this Dhenukasura. So the Dhenukasura was killed by Balaram. And then, of course, all the other attacked, some Balaram killed, some Krishna killed. Here we see Balaram, looked a little older, actually was younger. Famous, see? Here is throwing these donkeys left and right, while more are coming into the scene, attacking. They seems that didn't get the message. And here is my favorite a picture of this. You see there are already some donkeys on the ponds. This one even with the tongue outside. They're already dead. And Krishna and Balaram, Krishna more nonchalantly, you see he's not even looking. And Balaram here is look very furious, very angry. It's just dispatching these donkeys left and right, while here some gopas, without wasting time, they're already picking up the tals. And I love this one. Is really sitting peacefully and enjoying the battle. These are great souls. There is the famous verse that in Bhagavatam, to be playing with Krishna, these personalities must have done millions of lifetimes of austerity, sacrifice, religious rituals, purification. They're not normal coward boys. We understand that. They've been yogis, they've been sages, munis, they've been saints. Again, contemplating the beauty of the forest, the birds, the flowers, the swans, the deers, the fruit and flowers. Here playing with bees. And here's another pastime, is the killing of Pralambasura, another demon killed by Balaram. So we are highlighting, of course, today is his birthday, we are highlighting Balaram pastimes. And this is a miniature from some time back. I'm not sure what century. Here is a more recent, this is a BBT painting. What happened is that they were playing, they made two groups, and whoever had lost had to carry the winners on their back. So Pralambasura came as a normal coward boy, and somehow he lost, and the team of Balaram won. So Pralambasura was carrying Balaram, but somehow due to his spiritual divine influence and also his considerable weight, Pralambasura could not keep his form, as a coward boy. So he had to manifest himself as the black Asura that he was. So Balaram, when he saw this coward boy transforming into a huge Asura, he punched him on the head and he killed him. So he just killed him, and the Asura is lying down and Balaram is victorious. Another pastime, Nanda Maharaj one day went to the Yamuna, but was very, very early. So somehow the assistants of Varuna kidnapped him. He said, no, this is not the time for humans to take bath. You have to come to the court of Varuna with us. So Krishna and Balaram, you see Krishna on the left, Balaram right in front, went down to rescue Nanda Maharaj. And of course Varuna is a devotee, so he said, well, actually I took him just to have your darshan. Now you can all go. Hare Krishna. And this is a very intense moment. Maybe the most intense moment is when Krishna and Balaram leave Vrindavan. Akrura on the chariot, you can see the elder. Akrura was sent by Kamsa to pick up Krishna and Balaram. And of course Akrura was a great devotee, but he was in the royal court of Kamsa, and for the sake of the pastimes, he had to bring Krishna and Balaram. I mean, here you can see a scene of great agony. You see the gopis that are desperate. The gopas are desperate. Here a gopa is embracing Balaram. I'm sure Balaram is saying something like, we'll be back, don't worry. Here is Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, almost like statues in great pain, suffering. Let's change the slide. But the next is the same, in Oriya style, is Akrura taking Krishna and Balaram away. And the gopis, you could see, almost they try to stop the chariot. But as they say, no, the Leelas have to go on. The show has to go on. So Krishna's pastime had to continue, even outside of Raja. So Krishna never leaves Raja, but sometimes his presence is non-manifest. Another picture. You can see here Srimati Radharani practically fainting out of separation, and Krishna Balaram just the last farewell. So we move to Mathura. I mean, not yet. Here is on the way to Mathura. Akrura leaves Krishna Balaram on the chariot. You can see in the back. But then he has this darshan of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, all the sages, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, the Kumaras, praying to Vishnu. And then he has this outstanding ecstasy, and he offers very famous prayers. And here is in Mathura. You see Krishna and Balaram, they're walking with some of their friends. They're already becoming the attraction of the old town. You see the ladies from the roofs, from the windows, they're looking at Krishna and Balaram. They've never seen somebody so beautiful, so charming, so fascinating. And they're walking, some are devotees, like these devotees, somebody coming offering an arctic, somebody coming offering fruits. But there are also some demons. Like, for instance, one day, the laundryman, Krishna Balaram asked them some clothes, and he said, no, 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 these are for Kamsa, these are the king's clothes, you can't even ask this thing. And he was punished.
मुष्टिकाचूर चाणूर मल्ल मल्ल विशारद मधुसूदन मर्दन कलिंग नर्दन कुकुल रक्षण सकल सुलक्षण देवा.
Yes, this is a song listing so many demons that they killed. This is Kuvalayapida, the elephant. Kamsa had arranged so many, you could say, traps, and the last trap before the arena before the stadium was this huge elephant. But Krishna nonchalantly really killed him very, very easily. And you see Balaram is looking on with no worry whatsoever. I mean, so many demons that are killed. What is an elephant for them? See, and they take as weapons. They take the tusks of the elephants. This is dead. Also, the assistants are dead. So they go inside the arena, and there Kamsa had thought that there are these huge. They look like it's almost the same size, but they were actually huge wrestlers, Chanura and Mustika. And Kamsa was quite confident they will kill the boys. The boys, he said that they were 16 because actually they were 10 years, Krishna was 10 years and 8 months. But he said they were 16 because they were precocious, so they looked bigger than what they were. They will look 16, but they were almost 11. So these wrestlers, they're quickly defeated. See how the wrestlers here, they look like they're shouting, do this, do that. Then there was the whole crowd in the arena, and looks at Kamsa, how intensely he looks at the scene, because this was the last barrier. This was the last ditch attempt to kill. Then there was nothing between Krishna, Balaram and Kamsa. And in fact, the wrestler failed, and then Kamsa was brought down from his throne, and Krishna pummeled him with punches. And that was the end of Kamsa. And everybody was very, very relieved. Finally, Krishna and Balaram could embrace Devaki and Vasudeva, which were freed from the prison house. See, Devaki is kissing Krishna, and Vasudeva is embracing Balaram. Then was time for a more formal education. So they were sent to what today is called Ujjain, now in Madhya Pradesh. At that time was called Avanti, and was the ashram of the famous Sandipani Muni. And every day Krishna and Balaram would master a very special skill. Some skills are quite mystical, like reading a book without even opening it, or reading people's mind. So many, you can read in the Krishna book. This is another illustration which, I don't know, I'm a little doubtful if Sandipani Muni will keep the Shastra directly on the floor. But anyway, we appreciate the mood, the feelings. This is Sandipani Muni deity in ISKCON Ujjain. And this is another picture of Sandipani Muni, Krishna, Balaram, and other students studying in his ashram. You can still go in Ujjain and see there is a place where they say this is Krishna's Sandipani Muni ashram. And this is Krishna Balaram in Ujjain. Then it was a time of Guru Dakshin. After learning from a guru, from a teacher, from a brahmana, the student has to give dakshin, has to give a gift. So, because the Sandipani Muni know these are very special students, so they ask a special dakshina. So he asked, please bring back my son from death. He was dead, and he was killed by a demon named Panchajanya in the ocean. So Krishna Balaram go kill Panchajanya, take the conch that he later became Krishna's conch. Of course, Krishna as always eternally conch, but in his pastime sometimes he takes some lila to acquire these symbols. So if you're tired, we can stop here. You want to hear more pastimes? You want to see more slides? Are you sure?
Yes.
It's a little hot.
Yes.
No, more hot, more heat. Okay, so basically, Krishna Balaram do their duty as students, as disciples, and bring back the son. Finally, they found the way in Yamaloka. In Yamaloka, they found the son and they bring it back. Okay, this is see. I don't have pictures for every single thing, so sometimes there is some gaps. This is after Jarasandha attacks Mathura. Jarasandha was the father-in-law of Kamsa, so was very angry that Kamsa was killed. So he attacked Mathura many times, and he was always defeated. All his armies were destroyed, annihilated, evaporated, and he will go back to Magadha, his kingdom, by himself. On the 16th time, Krishna Balaram didn't even want to fight, so they just ran away, on a mountain. And you can see here the fire, because Jarasandha put fire on the mountain and thought, now we will burn it, we'll burn them. But they just jumped as another lila, as another pastime. They jumped from the mountain and they came down unseen by Jarasandha, without a parachute. So you can see the fire, the smoke. For them was just a pastime. They smiled. Haribo. Then one day Balaram came back and had a rasa dance. The Acharya is playing very carefully that these were gopis who were too young when Krishna did this rasa dance. So Balaram gave a lot of affection, a lot of relief to Nanda Maharaj. They were all burning in separation, but at least with his presence were mostly relieved. So dancing, separate groups. Then there is this pastime. At one point, Balaram had drank this Varuni. It's a special honey-based drink. So he was a little bit inebriated. So he asked Yamuna, come. But the Yamuna thought, well, he's a little inebriated. I don't need to really go. So then Balaram became upset, and with this plow started bringing the Yamuna, saying, if you don't come, I'll make you into so many little rivulets. You will not be a river anymore. It will be like little insignificant rivulets. So Yamuna Devi came immediately. And here is Yamuna Devi offering prayers to Balaram. And of course, there are many more pastimes which are not even mentioned in the Bhagavatam. Like, for instance, you might have heard when Balaram came to Mayapur. You heard about Mayapur? Balaram came into Mayapur. There's a special place in Simanta Dvipa, the same place of the temple, Jagannath Subhadra Baladev. It's called Maya Mari. There was a demon named Maya, and he was disturbing everybody. So when Balaram was in pilgrimage at the beginning of the Kurukshetra war, he was in pilgrimage, he came to Mayapur, and the Brahmanas asked him, please protect us. There is this demon who's making a lot of trouble for us. So Balaram fought with this demon. There's the whole area. You can still visit. There is a little shrine with Balaram there. You can go to Maya to remember Maya Mari. It's a beautiful japa walk from the main temple. So, and then finally he killed this demon. And the place is called Maya Mari. Mari in Bengali means killing. So the place where Maya, the demon Maya, was killed. Maya Asura. And here is killing another demon, Dvivida gorilla. He was very, very nasty. He was very impolite, very vulgar, and he was insulting the gopis. And actually he was one of the associates of Lord Ramachandra, but somehow, due to bad association, he became a demon. So finally they fought with Balaram. If you can see, there is so many broken trees because they started breaking trees and hitting each other with trees. Then finally they started throwing stones, and finally Balaram had enough and he gave a big punch on the collarbone, and Vida died. Then when he was in pilgrimage, he killed another demon, the Balvala demon. There were these sages here in the back, and they were doing these yagyas, and this Balvala would come and contaminate this homas, this fire sacrifice. They would throw bones, they would throw all sorts of nasty things I don't want even to mention. And then they were really disturbed, say we cannot kill them because we are doing this non-violent yagya, we cannot kill anybody during the yagya. So then Balaram said, don't worry. Then Balvala came with the what do you call? No, yeah, with the trident Balvala, but with the plow, Balaram pulled, because he was flying, this Balvala was flying. With the plow, he pulled him down, and with the mace, he struck him. One less demon. Then, this is a very particular story, many of you know, is the killing of Ramaharshana Sutta. He was teaching the sages of Naimisharanya. He was quite learned, but somehow was also very proud. So when Balaram came, this Ramaharshan did not give any respect, did not stand up. So Balaram decided to get rid of him. And with one blade of kusha grass, he somehow just killed him. Generally, the kusha grass is not a lethal weapon, but in this case was enough. And then the sages put Sutta Goswami, this famous Sutta Goswami, was his Ramaharshana's son, on the Vyasa side. Another scene. This is Balaram killing Rukmi. There was this, you see in the back there is Krishna and Rukmini. And they had organized one, here like chess game, but it was, I don't know, dice or something, some game. And at one point Balaram was winning. No, Krishna is here. This is Krishna, right? Anyway. So, Balaram was winning, but they started insulting him, saying, no, he's cheating. He became very, 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 very angry. At one point there was a voice from the sky. No, he's not cheating. He's winning, honestly. But they kept insulting. So he took a mace and killed Rukmi. And he got the name Rukmiha, the killer of Rukmi. There was another king there who was showing always his teeth, which is very disrespectful. So with the same mace, Balaram broke his teeth. And it is said in the Bhagavatam that Krishna remains silent. because if he had criticized Balaram, because ultimately Rukmini was a brother-in-law of Krishna. It's Rukmini's brother. So if he had criticized Balaram, he would feel bad. And if we had rejoiced, Rukmini would feel bad. So it is said that Krishna remained kind of neutral, like thoughtful, very diplomatic. So nobody felt hurt, besides, of course, Rukmini. Now, we are coming towards the end of this pastimes. Yes?
I just wanted to say, in Rajapur, there is Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, and the mood of Balaram in Mayapur Dham. And the mood of Balaram is like this. So many devotees have had personal experiences. Once a Muslim guy came to visit Jagannath Mandir, and they gave him prasad, and he threw it away. And he went home. He went to sleep. At night, he was beaten up left and right by somebody with a big white structure, and another woman in the yellow structure is telling him, beat him up, beat him up. And there was a black figure who was saying, no, 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 let him go, let him go. Next day morning, this person came running to Jagannath Mandir. He told the pujaris, he was literally physically exhausted and limping because of the beatings. So he said, yesterday I came here, I threw away the prasad. Can you please give me the prasad again? Please, desperately, he was begging for prasad. And the pujaris were like, yeah, wait, we'll give you, but what happened? And then he told the whole story that Balaram did not tolerate the Mahaprasad of Jagannath being thrown. So he came in the dream of this Muslim guy, beat him up, and Subhadra Devi was there in the dream telling Balaram, yes, go ahead, beat him up. And Jagannath, as usual, diplomatic, merciful, was like, no, let him go, it's okay. So Jananivas Prabhu was explaining that the mood of Balaram is like this. Like with the Roma Harshana Sutta, he could just with a little with a little piece of grass, he could take away the life. Similarly, he can take away our obstacles in our life like this very quickly. But at the same time, if we have an offensive mentality or we don't perform devotional service in the respectful mood, then Baladev can actually be very heavy.
Thank you.
Rajapur Jagannath ki. Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Sudarshan Chakra ki.
So here is Hastinapur, now is Delhi, and he went as an attempt at diplomacy, mediation. What happened is that Samba, Krishna's son, had kidnapped Duryodhana's daughter, Lakshmana, and so the Kuru had arrested Samba. So the Dvarakavasi, the Yadus wanted to attack. They said, you cannot just kidnap our Samba. But Balaram said, no, don't worry, I'll go myself, and I'll convince them. So then Balaram came in front of all the Kuru leaders, and he said, please, give Samba back. We have a very nice relation between the Kauravas and the Yadavas. So no need to create this diplomatic incident. But the Kurus were very proud. And they said, the Yadavas are demanding this? It's like the shoes trying to get the place of the crown on the head. Very insulting. I mean, you tell the Kshatriyas this. Whoa. And then they left. They just left Balaram standing there. So Balaram started saying, what? The Yadavas? The Yadavas, the shoes, and the Kauravas of the crown? I'll show you. He took the plow, sorry. He took the plow and he started dragging the old city of Hastinapur towards the Yamuna. Basically, see, there was already some flooding happening. So they became very, very scared. Here's another image, an ancient image. This is a more modern style. A huge Balaram pulling the whole city into the Yamuna, more stylized. And so all the Kurus came running. Sorry, Balaram, we didn't really mean it. Here is Samba, here is the new wife. Please take them to Dwaraka and forgive us for our impudence and arrogance. So the thing was settled somehow. And Srila Prabhupada explains that every year some parts of Hastinapura get flooded by the Yamuna, almost like as a reminder of that pastime. So Krishna Balaram ki jai. This is in a glorious moment. Pushkar Prabhu's painting, Narada Muni's, everybody is happy there. And of course, without getting too many details, Balaram appears with Krishna all the time. 500 years ago, he appeared as Nityananda Prabhu. In fact, here you have both. See, Balaram and Nityananda, one near the other. And of course, he is most merciful. Here is a story of punishing, quote unquote, punishing Raghunath Das Goswami. Because Raghunath Das Goswami, the Acharya explained, tried to go directly to Lord Chaitanya, but one has to go through Nityananda. Just like one cannot go to Krishna without going through Balaram, the Adi Guru, the original spiritual master, one cannot go to Lord Chaitanya without the mercy of Nityananda. And here's Nityananda appearing to Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, telling, go to Vrindavan. He was in somewhere in West Bengal, in the north. And he said, go to Vrindavan, then you reach all fortune. You see, is indicating the way. And Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami went there, and he wrote what's considered the ultimate books on Lord Chaitanya and on Lord Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Sri Govinda Lilamrita. So Balaram lives with us in many special forms, in many special places. Berlin, one of them. Balaram lives here. Supreme Lord has accepted your devotion, your service, your hankering for His presence, for His bhakti. And this is the Balaram in Puri, the special Vesha with the gold crown, Shorna Vesha. Here is the Jagannath in Jagannath, Subhadra Baladev, Sudarshan Chakra in Rajapur in Mayapur. This is during the hottest part of the year. They cover them with chandan, sandalwood paste. Here another special decoration, special ornamentation. They look almost like hippies, but no. And here is during the famous Snana Yatra festival, where Krishna, Balaram, they become sick for 15 days just before the Ratha Yatra. And it's a major festival in Mayapur. Sometimes there are 40,000 people who attend this festival. And this is the famous Gaja Vesha. After the Snan, after the Abhishek, they are dressed, Jagannath and Balaram, they are dressed like elephants. They put this trunk. Krishna and Balaram in Vrindavan. Balaram's close up. This is Srila Prabhupada offering the first arti to Krishna Balaram. It was 50 years ago, in 1975. This year they had the 50th anniversary in Vrindavan. Now, next slide is a quiz. Is Srila Prabhupada installing Krishna Balaram? And the question is, where? Mayapur, New York. You're still very far. London, France.
New Mayapur.
Yes, New Mayapur, Novel Mayapur. This is Srila Prabhupada installing Balaram in Novel Mayapur, France. How many of you have been there? Okay. So, yes, very special place, Novel Mayapur. This is a castle Srila Prabhupada visited there. Okay, So, thank you. Shri Balaram ki jai. We'll finish with one song, one stanza, one from the Dashavatar of Jayadeva Goswami.
Everybody can sing the Keshavadrita Haladara Rupa Jayadeva.
Okay, everybody can sing the final line. Keshavadrita Haladara Rupa. Haladara is Balaram, the holder of the plow. Jai Jagadish Hare. This is part of the same song we generally sing the Nishingadev, right? So it's the same meter. And Shri Radha Govinda Das
Vahasi vapushi visadeva sanam jaladabam halahati biti milita yamunabam Keshavadrita haladara rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita haladara rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare
And of course you know, but you must notice that at the end of the arms of Balaram, here he has the hala, the plow, and in the other hand, or where the hand is generally is the club. And this is the translation for you. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Balaram, the wielder of the plow. All glories to you. On your brilliant white body you wear garments the color of a fresh blue rain cloud. These garments are colored like the beautiful dark hue of the river Yamuna, who feels great fear due to the striking of your plowshare, the lila that we mentioned, when he threatened to make the Yamuna into many rivulets. Jai Jagannath Subhadra Baladev Sudarshan Chakra ki Jai Shri Balaram Jayanti ki Balaram Jayanti Mahamahotsav ki ISKCON Berlin ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Kaunteya prabhu.